And then there's another list beginning under that.
D&D game?
Yeah, has she got a campaign going?
I swear, I've heard the phrase chicken heist in the past week, and I have no idea where. But, like, I have heard that term.
Man, I want to know the story behind
I don't know
why you
where.
heard that term.
But as soon as you
outside
said
of
chicken
D&D.
heist, I was like, oh, I know that. Where's that from?
You run in such different circles these days.
Hello, and welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron campaign world. I'm Philip.
I'm Eric.
I'm Colin.
I'm R.A.
And I'm Casey.
Oh my gosh. Welcome to another show.
You love
Previously, I do.
I've had 4 cups of
you all.
coffee today. Let's go.
I've had 4 hours of sleep. Let's do this thing.
Tell us what happened, Sky Captain.
Well, following the chaos in the marketplace, you retreated back to the treehouse, where you met up with Shade and her new friend, Calumbra, who promptly selected a spot on the couch, which is to say the couch. And we had some discussion about pet policy in the treehouse apartment. And sort of some follow-up to what in the world just happened. And after that, we moved the timeline forward a little bit by a few days as you all went about the city and dealt with things on your own. Ari went and investigated Falco and actually managed to have a little bit of a conversation with Falco before having to seriously bail out of that situation, but managing to do so. Esri went and talked with Gerald again and accepted Gerald's offer to set up not an alchemy workshop, an herbalist workshop on Gerald's dime, and essentially work directly for Gerald as opposed to being, being a less independent contractor for Gerald. Pog went back to Black Iron to ask Mr. Hular to take a look at Fury's Edge and tell him a little bit about that. And Colin now finally knows the answer to those questions because, of course, I didn't have them at the time because I was not anticipating that event when we sat down that night. So I have since created stats for Fury's Edge, and those are now in Colin's character sheet, and perhaps we'll see it in action in the near future. We'll see. And Shade went and spoke with Harish about
Ownership.
yes, about the responsibilities of owning a brightly colored apex predator.
Shade would not use the word own, though.
That's fair. Yes, the responsibilities of caring for and befriending a brightly colored apex predator. And that was, and it was at least implied that Harish worked out what Shade had done and was proud of her for doing it.
Is Shade going to refer to Calumbra as a roommate? Because then that's going to be some weird... The roommate peed on the rug again, and it's just the worst.
And I don't think... Oh, yes, then there was a knock at the door. And Ari was greeted with a punch in the face from Mrs. Brightdoom.
For reasons not normally why he gets a punch in the face. So,
Demanding...
Yes.
I mean, we know that. Demanding to know where her daughter is.
Yep.
And so, yeah. So you have all probably heard the loud hammering on the door, and you probably hear Ari seems like a lazy person about door maintenance and has probably left the upper door open when he went down through the trunk.
Why we have two doors? That's the whole
Ari
point
and
of the two
Eric are
doors.
different, Philip. I know that there is some
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me Ari always remembers to close the door and leaves a note when we're out of milk.
right.
I feel like we're working through some old stuff here, boys.
Yeah, Ari would have left the door. Like he wouldn't have thought to like reach back and close it. So it's
So you probably
to
also
self-defense.
hear the clearly angry voice of a woman demanding to know where her daughter is, echoing up the tree trunk.
This might not be a new occurrence. I mean,
Yeah, that,
Fair.
she's not here.
I don't know.
Deserve that.
And she begins to push, just move. She is coming forward. She is moving past you, unless you are attempting to block the way.
I mean, Ari has a +1 constitution, so it's not like it would knock him on his butt. So, I mean, Ari would at least keep pace with her and be like, we don't know what happened. What happened? And just trying to talk at her, obviously.
You
Ari's
tell
not
me what
expecting-
happened. And she is trying to go past you and get through. She is moving forward with a will. You tell me what happened. Where is she?
I would love to help you figure that out, but I don't know. As we're presumably getting,
Yeah.
it's not a tall tree.
Ari is backing through the door, pursued by a very angry woman that you would all recognize by this point as Mrs. Brightdoom.
Oh,
She's not here. You're more than welcome to look around. We're not hiding her anywhere.
No, you're not.
Oh, you come into my house, but I can't come into yours? Is that how it works now?
You got a point, Esri.
No, pretty much that's how it works. Yes.
Pog pokes his head out of his
Is it-
bedroom and goes, I think someone's at the
Donabella?
door.
Is it obvious that Ari's been punched?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, his nose is at best red and at worst bloody.
Listen, no one appreciates a good punch to Ari's face more than me. But
I'm sorry, ma'am. I know that your daughter's missing, and yeah, it's real chuckle time up in here, but we don't know
she's
where
missing.
she is. Like I said, you're more than welcome to look around here, considering you're a mother whose daughter has gone missing. And he says, looking at Esri.
I gave you a week. You didn't make it a week?
What's Ezri's AC?
Yes.
Not great.
Yes.
13.
Okay. She flies at Ezri and
Ari does nothing.
punches
That's fair.
Esri really hard in the stomach.
Pog comes
and,
walking
I
around
mean,
the corner,
You take 2 points of damage. It's just,
holding my shirt up because I was trying to get clean, so I'm just holding it in front of me. What's going on?
where is my daughter?
Okay.
asked
Where?
for her daughter and has punched both of them, but I
Oh.
think that's fine.
I opened the door. I didn't do what Esri did, mouthing off to somebody who's in a distressed situation.
And she half turns towards Ari. Yes, fine. I'm upset, and these people invaded my home and about a week ago, and that one threatened me, and they were going on about my daughter.
I know.
And yes, you were there. Yes.
I came in like I was trying to talk to you in reassurances, if you recall. So I do care about your daughter. I want to help you. Can I make a roll to try and maybe
Sure. You
ease
give me a
the
I would like
situation.
to help
Give me
her.
a persuasion check.
23. Yeah, obviously she's not totally calm, but I'm just trying to get her to not punch me again. Like that's
She doesn't.
yeah. When did she disappear?
She's not in her room this morning.
Okay. Does anybody else know about her?
The neighbors know about my daughter, yes.
What she can do?
No.
Okay. There are people that might be interested if they knew about that, so that's why I was asking.
Can I roll insight?
Yes.
Is there another parent?
No.
Ten.
She's real mad.
Yeah.
This is an angry woman.
I see that.
Is there a second stop on your path to figure out where she may have gone? Is there anybody else that might have a reason?
A reason to kidnap my daughter?
I'm just trying to help. We don't have a reason to kidnap her, but you obviously came to us for a reason.
I wonder what that could be.
I
Me
know
too.
exactly why.
I've asked everyone who lives near us. I've asked the neighbors. I'd have brought the watch if they were worth anything.
Okay.
Esri stands up and just exits the treehouse. Starts walking down the stairs.
I'm very sorry. And obviously our rapport and our relationship got off to a bad start. But believe it or not, all of us that live here have a certain level of concern for your daughter's well-being because of the incident that happened where we got the opportunity to meet her. So if you want help from individuals who actually care and not the watch who, as you said, aren't worth anything, we're more than happy to help, because nobody wants your daughter back into your home more than me. Well, aside from you,
I find that
obviously.
very unlikely.
Aside from you, I misspoke. And your daughter.
Jade is not a people person. She's going after Esri.
You have no idea how happy this is all making Ari right now.
Hog
Shade,
is sitting.
where is
holding
Calumbra?
his shirt.
Oh, he's definitely sitting on the couch, sprawled
Okay.
out, laying. Yeah.
So as
So not much use as a watch cat. Then
as Shade
He
exits
has not hired help.
out the door, this the brightly colored large head of this panther-sized creature, this panther raises up, looks over, and then just gets up, stretches, and goes out the window. This
Cool.
cuts the momentum out of whatever was happening in Mrs. Brightdoom's head as she just watches.
He just moved in.
That's our cat.
Okay, Shade pursues Esri.
Esri, do you think you know where she is?
I assume you've caught up to Esri to ask that.
Yes.
We've established that Shade is way faster than Ezra.
Yeah.
And you walk very casually.
Got there at the same time.
I know.
No, I need a stick.
Oh. We live in a tree.
I do not cannibalize our home for my sticks.
I don't think it's cannibalizing it. I mean, we are using it already, but I see that you have your own.
We should have
way
taken
to
her. We
respect.
should have taken her.
We should have taken her
At
where?
that time. I knew this was going to happen. She's absolutely not equipped. Not that we are, but she's not.
The mom or the girl? Which
Well,
one?
either, but the mom did.
No, she was not equipped. But she did seem to care. I watched them, and she did seem very much to love her daughter. I don't know that we're better equipped. We are. We get a lot of attention. I know.
Has the cat arrived?
Yes.
As he says, it's just like. And he's headed out to the bridge. He's got to go to the jungle and find some.
Okay.
Do you need help? I know you don't need help. I want to offer a nicety so that you are not mad. But okay.
Yes, come. Doesn't make any more sense for me to be walking out in the jungle alone for this than any other stupid thing that we've done in the past week.
Okay.
As you're walking along, Calembra kind of gives Shade a look up in one of these.
Shade's like,
Okay. Back in the treehouse.
Mrs. Brightdoom, would you prefer Mrs. Brightdoom, or is there something else?
Mrs. Brightdoom is fine.
Okay. I mean, since we've met, has your daughter been acting any different?
Has my daughter been acting differently since 4 strangers barged into our house and revealed themselves to be bearers of aberrant marks and then told her that she can do the same thing? Yes, my daughter has behaved differently.
We didn't barge in. Your daughter was in danger, and we stopped the danger and then brought her home. We didn't barge into your house. She told us where your home was, and we took her there so she could be safe.
And then stayed a while, and...
That's fair. Like, I can't defend what was done, but I can try to make it right, if you'll let me. That's all I can do. Or I can let you punch me in the face and you can leave, but I would rather the first option.
Why doesn't he have a shirt on?
Because he was getting dressed and came out here.
Gonna go to bed.
Paul, you can put your shirt on, buddy.
He really looks up to Ari, so
Ari has a shirt on.
Pog stands up and walks around the corner again to put his shirt on discreetly, and then comes back around. So I'm sorry that she's been different and probably kind of weird for you, but we are super good at finding things and people.
I mean,
If you want help, we like her too, and we want to help find her if you need help. I'm Pog, by the way.
Ari,
Hello.
Do you want some bacon?
he's not going to do it, but Ari really wants to go. And the guy who walked out first, his name is Esri. Esri, no sure. I can spell it for you if you want.
Pog distinctly only introduced himself.
Yes.
That's all Pog said is
Ari's
just
not
his
actually
name.
going to.
This
but-
is growth.
Make a persuasion check. You've both been talking, so I'll let Ari do it. I assume is the preferred option.
I have +2.
19.
Fine. Only because I don't have someone else to ask. I can't afford to hire a finder. When this is done, there's not going to be any conversation about what becomes of my daughter.
She's your daughter.
Yes,
Never up for debate.
and there will be no checking up.
No. Our involvement will be dictated by your terms.
Ari,
Yeah.
Ari, I think we're gonna get in trouble if we promise for the others. So, like, we can say you won't check, and we can say I won't check, but I don't think we should say the others won't check. They need to say that themselves, because they're gonna check.
I just like to think that Pog was whispering that in Ari's ear the whole, and he was just looking at Mrs. Brightdoom, kind of not, but not with like just saying it full.
No, that was the volume. That is the volume that it was set at. That is.
You're right, buddy. We can't fully speak for them, but we can talk to them once they come back, and do our best to hold up that part of the bargain. And I am a finder. That is my day job. So I do have the skill set you're looking for. Obviously, no charge on this one.
I meant someone from the Finders Guild.
Oh, well,
That makes way more sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
they hike their prices up. You don't want anyway.
They won't let him in.
But yes, any information you can give us to start us down a path. Has she ever, I don't want to say gone missing before, but is there a place she likes to go? That you know of?
She was in her room last night. This morning, I went to wake her up for breakfast before I went to work. She wasn't there. The room is a mess, but she's 11. The room is a mess.
Yeah.
She runs about during the day. I work. She's not stuck in the house. She runs around with other children.
Is your silverware still there?
I didn't look.
Had there been...
She could have been chased out.
Have there been any other incidences like the one that happened that night?
Things move when she
That's
gets
what I meant.
upset.
Was she upset last night?
No, everything was fine last night, I thought.
Okay. And once again, this is purely for the sake of trying to find her. When we were talking before about her acting differently since all this happened, has she been sad, scared, angry?
She's afraid.
Okay.
She's afraid every time she gets upset, every time she gets startled, something flies across the room and she's afraid. And when she's afraid, things fly across the room.
Okay. Okay. Would you mind at all, once again, in the sake of finding her, if we came to your home and looked in her room to see if there's anything that might give us some indication of what happened?
Fine.
It can, I mean, once again, you get to dictate terms if you just want to
said
be
yes.
one of us or all of us.
She said yes.
I know. I'm trying to make her comfortable, Pop.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
Not
Thank you.
the panther,
Okay.
perhaps.
Yes. Okay.
It's not a large apartment.
It's fair. Okay. Mrs. Brightdoom, an apology and concern doesn't seem like enough. All I can do is assure you that we're going to do what we can to find your daughter and make sure she gets home to you.
Fine.
Okay. Is there a time that you would prefer us to come over there? Would you like us to
Now.
come now? Okay,
Now.
great. Okay, yeah, we can come now. Pog, you ready?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I was ready when she said yes.
All right. Okay, so I mean, she wants us to go now, and Esri and Shade are in the forest, so or jungle. So, I guess we're going.
Well, I do have a question about that. Just scale wise, what kind of time frame are we looking at?
You guys have said you live, you have tried to live close to, and we've established that Shade can see out over the jungle,
Right.
from her window. So I think not very far.
I mean, are we talking like a 5-minute walk to the park, or like a 30-minute
Yes,
walk?
I think more like that. I think more like a 5-minute walk to get.
Okay.
I mean, to get to a place where you could find some deadfall,
Sure.
is not real far. You could possibly even find that before you've technically left the city, because it's not that tidy of a place.
I'm looking for something with a little bit of green in it.
Sure.
All right.
All right. So
Cal has some green in him.
she storms back down your stairway and out onto the street, and for ease, unless there's something you want in the jungle, I'm going to say that by this point, the conversation above took enough time that Shade and Esri have returned.
We'll have asked Shade how. I know dogs can smell things real good. Can Cal?
Panthers are great at hunting things.
Right, but by smell? Because that would be really useful, I think.
I think Cal could. I don't know if we should take Cal in the open into the city right now. He's very pretty, and he gets a lot of attention.
true. We can bring something back from him.
Yeah.
We'll go steal something from her room, and then we can bring it back, and Cal can sniff it
We'll
out.
just ask. I think we can just ask the mom if we
Yes,
can.
she's very cooperative.
She wants to find her daughter.
Try.
And she saw Cal, so it's not like we're going to be lying when we talk about the beautiful peacock-looking panther.
Oh, look, there they go. That's nice. They weren't.
Hey guys, we're gonna go to the room at the house.
Convenient.
Cal, maybe you should stay here in the jungle or the treehouse. It's totally up to you. Either way.
Cal looks up at you and gives a slight sort of nod and just goes up the tree and into the branches of the treehouse.
Oh, it
That's
understands
awesome.
common now.
I assume when she's talking to Cal, she's speaking in Sylvan.
Oh,
Because we established that Cal could understand her when she
Right.
spoke
Yeah.
Sylvan last time.
I didn't recall that she spoke so. Oh, that is a pretty language. Can you
fancy?
teach me that? I mean, it sounds a bit primitive, but it is pretty.
It is a lovely language. Sure. And she just starts talking to you in Sylvan.
Beautiful language of the Fae sounds primitive to Esri's ear. Good luck.
It's very old. And probably unchanged.
If they're like, as we're walking down the street, like Esri described, like catching up to us, Ari would hang back a bit to kind of intercept Esri and Shade before they get within too much earshot of Mrs. Brightdoom. Still walking, not like
Sure.
go full stop, but just kind of falling back a bit. And as you all catch up, Ari is walking backwards so he can talk to both of you while still maintaining movement. Okay, listen.
He's done something. Listen to this.
Already starting off great. We're going to go to the house to help her find her daughter. Any cute comments from you two about her as a mother need to be tempered because she's freaking out and it took a lot of convincing to get this far. So unless you have something to say regarding finding her daughter and getting her back to her mother, I need you two to cool it because she's already on thin ice with us.
And I care about that. Why?
Fine, then she's going to die in the streets. And that's clearly what you want if you don't want to cooperate with her, with the mom.
Why is she going to die in the streets?
Because she's a little girl. Out
Oh, I
in
thought
the
you were
middle of
talking
the
about
city.
the mom. No,
No.
obviously we're going to find the little girl. We don't need the mom for that. She obviously isn't useful in even keeping her.
This
in
is
her
what I'm
home.
talking about. If this is the attitude you're going to have the whole time, go back to the treehouse. Because I'm over it with this little girl. I'm sick of your attitude. I'm sick of the way you talk to that mom ever since you did it. Okay?
You're sick
She's
of
a
it.
terrified
Pog looks
mother.
over his shoulder.
She's a terrified mother trying to do her best. And the last thing she needs is a stranger who came into her home criticizing her and saying that he's going to come check up on her. It's not helpful. You're not going to accomplish anything with it.
So just to get this straight, if we don't find her, she's going to die in the street.
It's a
But
possibility.
my comments are the problem.
Yes, because we need the mom's cooperation to figure out where she went. Do you know where she went right now?
I agree with Pog. You don't think so good anymore. And I keep walking.
Ari legit stops walking for a second and just takes a moment, takes a beat, and then turns and brings up the rear.
I'm walking to the
right.
house.
And Philip's just going to let that breathe for a second.
All right. So she leads the way back to the house. So she opens the door, leads you inside. The house is kind of like skinny and a couple of floors, I guess like a townhome kind of arrangement. And up the stairs, she opens a door on a small room, very disheveled. Like things are all over the place. Very much the room of a little girl. There are lots of bright colors. There are paintings of, like, the walls have been painted by an 11-year-old girl with brightly colored unicorns everywhere. And the room is tossed. Like, the room is just all over the place. The bed's disheveled. Stuff's been knocked off. You can see that there used to be a little mirror on the vanity. It's on a vanity. It's broken. And has clearly been attempted to be patched up a couple of times.
Pog walks into the doorway and says, so we will look around, but me and my friend, looking at Ezri, we need to focus when we start looking for things. So we're just going to start looking around, okay?
Yes. And she stands in the door, sort of.
Is there a dirty
hugging herself and
sock?
tapping. Yeah, I mean, you can find some clothes.
Do you have any particular problem with me taking this sock?
Why?
Well, we have a large cat with very large nostrils. It would be useful for the smelling, I think.
Fine, yes.
Good
Shuts out
thinking.
the door.
Good thinking.
Hey, shit, it actually worked.
I'd like to make an investigation check to see if I can notice, like, anything. Like, if some of the clothes were taken and packed away, if a backpack is missing, like, just some indication of things that would have been taken.
Sure.
When she left.
Yeah, give me an investigation check. Anyone who's searching or working in the room can give me whatever role they would like to make in this case.
18.
Investigation is the obvious choice, but if you have something else you'd like to try to do.
Perception?
Sure, do a perception check.
Also, Shade will take the sock from Esri.
You put it in your pocket?
Yeah. Put it somewhere.
All right, so an 18. You can work out that some of the disheveledness of the room is probably a result of Donnabella's mark. Like, it looks like things have occasionally been tossed across the room with pretty great force. You do notice that in digging around the vanity, you come up with a little piece of parchment that's been folded a whole lot, and on it you see that it's a record of various odd, it's like shorthand for some kind of activity. You can't exactly decipher what they're referring to, but each one has some sort of odd name. Like, one of them is chicken heist. One says cat rescue. one says tankard liberation. And after the third one, there's a line under it, and it says level 2. And then there's another list beginning under that.
D&D game?
Yeah, is she got a campaign going?
I swear I've heard the phrase chicken heist in the past week and I have no idea where. But like I have heard that term.
Man, I want to know the story behind
Like I don't know
why you
where.
heard that term.
But as soon as you
outside of
said chicken
D&D.
heist, I was like, oh, I know that. Where's that from?
You run in such
after-
different circles these days.
I
After
don't know
handing
where
over
it's
the
from.
sock, Esri is just going to like sit in a corner and stare at the wall for 10 minutes
Okay.
while ritually casting detect magic. So
Okay, cool. And did anyone else do any checks in the room?
I rolled perception, but not well.
But not well. Okay.
I investigated poorly.
You investigated poorly. Okay.
Shade's emotionally distracted.
I mean, Ari would take the piece of folded parchment over to Mrs. Brightdoom and say, does this make any sense to you?
I've seen it. It's some kind of game. I don't know what exactly it is though.
Does she play with other kids or
She
by
does.
herself?
She
Okay.
plays with other kids when I'm out when I'm at work.
Do the kids live in this neighborhood?
Some of them they run all over various parts of Cross at various throughout the day.
All right.
Okay, Esri, having cast detect magic, give me a perception check.
wait, that's a 2? That doesn't look like a 2.
That popped
7.
up on my screen, and I was like, oof.
It looked like an 18. I was happy with that. I'm gonna push that.
Okay.
Already damaged today. Why not? Yeah, got it up to an 11. Nailed it.
Nice. Nothing in the room. Nothing in the room that you can see is putting off a magical aura.
Well, at least my eyes are glowy.
It's true.
While during that window, Ari would go outside to see if he could spot any kids running around playing, any indication of some parents that he could go talk to get permission to talk to a child. Is what Ari is trying to do in the neighborhood right now. So
Okay. All right. So you make your way back down and outside. We've established that there's a little market square outside, and some of the booths there are kids helping work the booths.
okay. I would walk. Ari has a -1 insight, so there's no point in saying I walk up to somebody who seems amiable to talk, because that's just nonsense for him. So yeah, he's just going to walk up to, if there's a stall with multiple kids helping,
Okay.
he would go there. But if not, just any of them that have a child helping work.
Sure. That's the stall selling ceramics,
Okay.
selling ceramic ware.
And
Whose owner I think Shade told was pretty.
Okay, who's her? Okay. What was the description
Caught
for
Shade
other than
doing
pretty?
anything.
That was not my description. That was Shade's description. I'm not actually sure I recall that I described this person.
Okay. Well, I walk up to her.
Okay. Yes. So there is a woman working the stall. And as you come up, she, comes to attention as a potential customer approaches, and says, "How can I help you? And in the mood for some fine ceramic ware? Plates and mugs and all manner of things."
I would actually One of the mugs would be great. Actually, I love my morning tea. So I'll take one of those, absolutely. And if you have a small container for like cream, I take my tea kind of white, so I don't like my tea to taste like tea. Ari chuckles. Then I'll take one of those also. And sorry.
Yeah, she begins, picking out things that you've selected.
And also, I wanted to ask a quick question. Do you happen to know the Brightdooms that live in the apartment building over there?
I see why?
We're trying to. I found this game here, and Donna Bell is not around to describe it to me, but she said she plays it with the other kids, and so I was trying to get somebody to explain this game to me, and I couldn't help you have a youngster here, and I was wondering if they might know, because I have some roommates, and we're looking for a new game night game, and so I'm trying to figure this out, but Donna Bell is not around right now.
Make a persuasion check.
25.
Wow.
Okay.
Sell ketchup to a woman in white gloves.
Wow.
There's a look of, this is kind of odd, that passes over her face, but, you're buying something, so I guess why not? So she... Sorry, there's dogs in the marketplace, apparently.
It tracks. That tracks.
Cute little dog you got there.
Sure. She calls one of her kids over and says, Jonas, do you know what game this is to? Donabella, the girl who lives over there, plays it, and he looks at it. And says, she tried to explain it to me. She and some friends in the rubble were in play. She said I had to go there to play it. I don't know. Also, I think you're too old to play it.
Oh, I am? Shoot.
I'm pretty sure.
Man, I was looking forward to playing it. Well, thanks. I appreciate your honesty.
Although you have a good costume for it.
Oh, yeah? I do? I didn't know there were costumes
Very
involved. That
sorry,
sounds
I
awesome.
have to go to the door. Y'all just...
Sure.
Well, that's cool. What kind of games do you like to play?
Oh, I want to play Three Dragon Ante, but we don't play Three Dragon Ante because gambling's not something that we do.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. Well, I appreciate your help and thank you. How much do I owe you for the mug and the
6 silver.
6 silver? All right.
Okay, I guess we're...
There you go. And
Yeah,
he
it's just gonna be
hands
hard.
6 silver.
I'm gonna get another clock.
And he tosses another silver
2
to
files, in case you do
the
it.
kid and says, maybe when you're old enough to play 3 Dragon Andy, you can bet that.
Okay, well, sorry about that.
Thanks.
And he
Everything
winks.
disconnected because I left the room. We got...
And Ari heads back up.
Somebody sent us cookies.
And you said the Rubble Warren?
Not expecting cookies.
Okay.
Which is one of the neighborhoods in the Cross.
Yeah.
Is there a window in the bedroom?
Yes.
So yeah, Ari heads back up with this
Okay.
new piece of information.
Shade and Pog, what have you guys been doing up in...
Is
Or
there
are you
a
still up in the
window
room?
in the room?
Yes, there is a window in the room.
Pog would have tried to climb out of it if I can go up or over onto another house and just get up and see if there's any sign that that's how she got out and see what I can see.
This
Okay.
is why Pog and Shade are friends.
Give me an athletics check.
Bet. I'm going to push. Oh, my Lord. What is wrong with the dice
Yeah, that looks
today?
familiar.
It's an 11.
Okay, so you get out onto the window and you're kind of hanging there and you're looking for, and I mean, You can see that there are probably handholds that someone with very small fingers might be able to make use of, but you can't get your hands into them. Like you can't, the cracks that are there are too small for your grown up fingers to get in, and so you can't really make any headway with it.
Can I see any signs of anyone having done that recently, or no?
You could give me a check with investigation.
Natural 20. That's a 21.
Hey.
Okay. You definitely see. I'm gonna say there's some of the stone work on the outside of the building is kind of mossy. A lot of the stonework is pretty mossy, and you can see two very distinct scuff marks where shoes have pretty regularly scuffed the stone going out this window.
Okay.
And for the natural 20, as you're coming back in, you notice a spot on the wall inside where there's a ding in the wall. There's those on several of the walls from things being flown across the room. But looking closely at this one, you're struck by that it doesn't look like the others. It looks as though it's a divot made by repeated strikes in the same spot.
And Shade is in the room with me.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? And Esri, did you?
And
leave,
Esri is also in the room. He's sitting in the corner with his eyes glowing.
This window right here. She went out all the time. She's been out here. Maybe last night. I don't know. She goes out here a lot. It's a pretty cool way to the roof. Shade, you'd like it. And then I'm gonna walk over to the wall. And Shade, can I see your hand?
Yes.
Does this look like where you would punch on a wall?
It does not. It doesn't look fist shaped.
Well, that didn't work. Esri, I found a bump.
Ooh.
I don't know if
We'll have to
it's
get that looked
an
up.
important bump, but well, no, not my bump. The room has a bump.
Where?
I do have some bumps though. Did you see when I beat Kolos in that fight? Because it was
I watched
it
you
was
fight.
pretty it was pretty
I did
good.
watch you fight.
Making sure you remember that I beat Kolos in a
I
fight.
remember you were in a fight with a very large horned fellow.
It's Kolos.
Kolos. Yes.
Anyway, look at this.
Yeah.
Okay, not a bump. It's a dent. It's an inside out bump. It's right here.
Not magical.
Not magical.
Okay. What do you want me to do with this, Pog?
Work with me, maybe.
I
don't.
I
know.
will.
I'm finding things.
You did a good job.
You
I
found no
didn't
things.
see it.
I'm finding things.
You saw it. Where is it?
It's in a wall on the opposite wall from the little vanity where Ari found the paper.
I mean, what is the wall made of here?
Plaster. Yeah.
I'll give it a few whacks with my stick.
You tint it a little.
So it's not.
I mean, you get the impression if you swung real hard, you could put a hole in the wall.
But it's not like
in the plaster at least.
that dent isn't like a thin spot that's been covered over.
No, it looks like something has struck the wall repeatedly here.
Is there anything laying around that looks like it could have been hurled at the wall?
Make a perception check.
Left that. Let's go with another 20.
Whoa.
21.
Get a little sound effect.
Wow.
Let's
Go. Thanks for these dice, all right?
Yes, there is something. What is the object that looks like it has made this indentation in the wall?
Philip's
I
like,
always
you come
hate
up
it
with
when-
something.
I hate it when you do this to the others, and now here's my shot at it.
Dent in a wall. Dent in a wall.
Oh man, that is a good question. I would love to take suggestions on what we find on the floor here.
A rock. A doll's head.
Casey, help. Yeah, doll's head is what came to my mind.
A spoon. A big ladle.
Okay.
Okay. There's a ladle that has made.
All right, so there's a good stout ladle, a good stout wooden ladle on the ground, and
Imperial or
It's a beer joke.
no, okay. I was like, do ladles have measurements? Like, is that a
I don't
is
know
that a
why
thing? Do
everything you say is so much snarkier when you nibble a cookie afterwards.
keep that on.
Picking it up, it looks like every time it has struck the wall's indention is like, you hold it up and it fits the curved base of the ladle perfectly. And so it looks as though the ladle has flown into the wall or been slammed into the wall repeatedly, striking right on the bottom of the, I don't know, the actual ladle part. I don't know what the parts of a ladle are called.
I think
The scoop, the bowl, I don't know. Whatever.
I think she was using the silly spoon to practice throwing silverware with her mark.
I hear practicing with your mark is what you sometimes should do.
When Ari gets back up there, he would.
I was
go
gonna say
talk
this
to
was
Mrs.
probably about the
Brightdoom.
right time for Ari to come back.
I'm just holding a ladle up to the wall, hypothesizing. Shade's holding up a sock, and Esri hasn't stood up off the floor with his glowy eyes. This is a scene to behold. We are getting stuff done.
We're such good investigators.
Mrs. Brightdoom, has your daughter mentioned any friends she might have from the Rubble Warren?
You might
talked
find
about
any.
that.
You might find any kids from the district in the Rebel Warren.
All right.
They're always running around over there.
Okay, well, good to know. All right. Well, I this piece of paper game that she plays with the kids, she typically plays with some kids in the Rubble Warren, place that she goes frequently. So my next step is to go there and see if maybe any of the kids over there have seen her or heard anything from her. So that's where I think it makes sense to go check out next, unless you all found something else that points in a different direction.
Yep.
Hog found a spoon.
It doesn't really point in any particular direction.
I mean, it's pointing at the ceiling right now.
And she sneaks out the window a lot.
I will look
Really?
at Mrs. Brightdoom on the revelation of that information. Is she surprised?
She
by
is.
that?
She's standing in the door with a concentrated look, arms crossed, just a bundle of nervous energy. But you can give me an insight check.
I also do not see the Rubble Warren on our map. So is that a place that we know of?
Yes, it's in Cross.
It's in the sloths.
In the Sloths. Yes, it's a location in the Sloths.
Okay. Well, I've rolled a natural one.
Alas. Oof. Yeah, you don't know. It's just not. It's not apparent. There's a lot of emotion playing on her face. It's hard to pick one from another.
I think we can get out of your hair for now, though. I think we have a good direction. Philip, given my history in the cross, would I know anybody from the Rubble Warren or know anything about that?
Well,
area?
nobody's from the
Yeah.
Rubble Warren. The Rubble Warren is a dump where masonry from new construction, where things that are torn down in the city get dumped. And so it's really just like a gigantic pile of irregular masonry and rocks, which of course is why the district's children find it the greatest place on earth.
Yeah.
There are people who live in the sloths, but nobody really lives in the Rubble Warren.
That's what I was referencing, is if there were any kids that were frequently there that Ari may have a passing relationship with just because he spends so much time in the cross.
You probably know some people in the sloths, but you probably haven't had much reason to go into the Rubble Warren.
Okay.
Because it's not the sort of place where your finding would need to take you.
Fair enough.
Particularly.
Okay. Yeah, if there's nothing else that we need here, I think we can head that direction.
I don't want to make you super mad, but I want to try to go out the window to go the way that she went.
That's a good idea.
I'm sorry, who was that directed at?
That was to Ari.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
That's
Meet you down on the
acceptable?
street.
Okay. I would like to try to go that direction.
Okay, sure.
That's
Give me an athletics check.
14.
14. Okay, so you get out and you get some handholds, and you think you could climb down or up, but you aren't really sure which way she goes.
Is this
Okay,
not a first
so you go
floor?
up. All right. You're not on the first floor anymore. It's kind of a townhome,
okay.
and so the bedrooms are up top. So you go up, and you are able to pull yourself up onto the roof. Okay.
Can I roll? I want to see if there's any, vague perception. Like, are there windows that look out exactly at this spot, or attention that gets put in this direction?
Sure.
Or, little
Yeah.
footprints that indicate.
Sure. You can give me a perception check for that.
22.
Wow. There are windows that look down over, but none that are like, clearly where someone would go. I will say what you do find. You don't find footprints, but you do find that there's, so like a lot of Stormreach, this building was once something else that had fallen down and it's been repurposed into townhomes. And there's a little section of old roofing with very old tile. And pulling aside a little bit of it, you see a little hollow where it's very clear that someone has stashed some stuff and removed it.
No indication of what it was. Maybe a list
no.
of items that were previously located.
No. All right.
We'll
Okay.
I mean, Ari would have headed down to the street as she
Sure.
was crawling out the window.
I assume everyone else is also going down to the street. Okay. As you are going out, Mrs. Brightdoom follows you out a little bit and goes over to Ari. I appreciate that you're trying to help. We'll stay here and see if she comes back. Please understand. I don't have a lot. But if you find her and don't bring her back, I will use all of it to acquire someone who will find you.
Ari takes a beat and says, "Ma'am, if we find your daughter and she's not brought back to you, I'll pitch in to help you hire somebody. And I'll be the one to come tell you."
She takes a minute to work through that, and then fine. And she goes back into the house. And that's probably where we'll cut it for this episode. So we'll pick up next time with the search for Donabella. So, in the meantime, we hope you've enjoyed this episode. This has been Khyber Shards. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can leave comments down below. You can ask questions here in the comments that we will deal with on our Friday Khyber Shard Answers episodes, where me and some of the cast sit down and answer viewer questions that we get in the comments or we get on our Discord, the link to which you can also find down in the comments. You can also find links to all of our socials, where we are the Geek Pantheon everywhere, at Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and Facebook and, and obviously, YouTube, that kind of thing.
This platform that you're on.
Yes, this platform that you're on right now. We are. It's great.
Look at that expansion.
I know, it's crazy. You can find Eric over on Twitch, where his schedule is Tuesday and
Definitely Tuesday and Sunday morning.
And Sunday morning, and another day that's being
TBD.
determined right now. Okay.
Yes.
And a third day. Surprise.
If you go follow,
That's true.
then you don't have to worry about it. Twitch will let you know.
You can also find Colin over on Twitch, where he is Sorry BTR with a 0 for his O. And you stream whenever?
When I stream, we rock the notification gang. So hit the heart button and then pay attention to the little notification.
Just sit there.
Fair
and
enough.
wait.
Stare at your phone longingly. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. This has been fun, and we'll see you next time. This has been Khyber Shards. I'm Philip.
I'm Eric.
I'm Colin.
I'm RA.
And I'm Casey.
And thanks for rolling with us.